Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of S.H.Figuarts Hurricane Blue and Hurricane Yellow set. Pretty excited about this. I love both Ninja Storm and Hurricaneger. Love the designs and the shows, so I'm pretty excited to bring this to you. How many more times I gotta say excited before this is over? I don't know, probably done. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out the box as usual. This is everyone's favorite part, so I expect after this everyone to be gone. But nothing that spectacular. I do dig the fact on the back they have their individual symbols back there. Pretty neat. But other than that, it's pretty basic. You know, it's got the pretty much gray look to it, which is from early Figuarts. Got their symbols everywhere. Got their names on there in color. You got some side pictures of them and their symbols. But nothing too like overwhelmingly unique. Then obviously on the back there it just shows what you can do with them. Nothing too special. They do come with quite a bit of accessories though. Here's our accessories tray. They each come with a large variety of hands to use on them, from holding hands, like not they're gonna hold hands themselves, but like, you know, holding weapons hands, various posed hands for ninja moves, maybe relaxed hands, high five hands. They're pretty much ready for any situation. On their backs, I have their Hurricanegers in the holstered position, so as you can see, and then you have their swords here, the Hurricanegers. I say that's like such a white person. Anyway, outside of the sheath, so that's pretty neat. And then you have their individual weapons. You got blue Sonic Megaphone and Hands Falling Out, and yellow's Quake Hammer, so pretty cool. We'll take a quick look at those aesthetically as soon as I put these back. There we go. So the Sonic Megaphone, which is like a blow dryer or a megaphone, it's like both. Actually, I'm sorry, Red's is a blow dryer, there we go. Or at least it seems like it. This is a megaphone. But like all Figuarts weapons, very, very nicely detailed, I have to say. This series certainly had some very unique weapons. And then you got the Quake Hammer, which looks pretty awesome, I have to say. Really nicely done. I always dug that weapon. So very cool. And then both of their swords are identical, but still very nicely detailed. You can see they even have the little numbers on there. So very nicely done. So now we'll take a look at the figures themselves. I'm going to try something a little different here now. I'm just going to sort of do a pan for them for aesthetically, and then sort of go over their articulation. So let's take a look at Blue first. Blue's looking pretty good, I think. I think my main problem with Blue is right here in the head sculpt area. Her head sculpt is not supposed to be like that. It is a little bit squished. It's supposed to be a little more elongated, and it is pretty noticeable. It feels like a little bit of a nitpick. It's still a really nice figure, and I really like it, but her head sculpt being like that is quite annoying. I don't know, it's just her head is really strange. But other than that, she is like so embarrassed, man, that the camera's going to stop focusing on her. There we go, let me fix that, sorry. But other than that, she does really well. She's even got the little details here on her changer here, which is really nice. You don't have like an individually, you know, painted dolphin fin, but still nicely done. One thing I really want to note is like here on like the chest area, they do a really good, that sounds really weird with the girl one, but they do a really good job on all of these of giving it this feeling of cloth, which is really nice. And they have the really nice mesh here. It's kind of broken apart by the, you know, what do you call it, hinges, but that's really not that huge of a deal. But the color is really nice. They do a good job of making it seem like cloth, and they get the color accurate. Very nicely done. The mesh is nicely done. So very, very nicely done there. Now I kind of got her in this generic standing pose. And then just here is just kind of an overall look at the back. And you can see the sword is placed right there. You can just take it out easily like that. But I just kind of prefer to keep it in. But so yeah, very nice looking figure. The main problem is honestly just with the helmet. Other than that, no real huge issues. Articulation wise, like all Figuarts, very well articulated. You have a nice ball joint in here for some great movement. You have this little shoulder pad here, which is sort of on the annoying shoulder system, but is actually pulls it off pretty well, kind of like Hurricane Red. Double elbow joint here. You can swivel. You've got the fist on a ball joint here, or the hand rather, so you get some solid range of movement there. A nice ball joint for the leg. The skirt does hinder her movement a little bit, but the material actually does a pretty good job, and over time it'll probably give you even more leeway. Double knee joint here, swiveling at the leg as well, and then her foot is on this nice ball joint, which gives you a great range of motion depending on what kind of poses you want to put her in. And then the toe, that sounds so weird. The girl figures are the weirdest, man. And then the little toe joint action there. And then she obviously has articulation at the chest and waist for various movements, and head and neck articulation for an all-around solid range of motion. So very, very nicely done in that. Wow, I just totally like lost it there. Very nicely done in terms of that. No loose joint problems. It's a very solid mold. My only real problem for Hurricane Blue happens to be the helmet. So I'm going to sort of get her back in her beginning of the review pose, which wasn't that spectacular to start with. damn it. She keeps falling over. She's exhausted from being in like every toku ever. Seriously, Nanami's in like everything. Alright, so now we will take a look at Hurricane Yellow, which I think fares a little bit better in a lot of ways. His head sculpt does look a little skinnier than it would be on the show, but it is really a nitpick at that point. I think with blues, I bring up a little bit better of a point. That's not braggy, but I mean, you can sort of tell it looks funny. With his, it does look a smidge skinnier, but it's really more nitpicky than anything. Other than that, I think it looks good. They did a really good job yet again with the color. It looks nice. It really does a good job of looking like cloth. You can see all the details in there. The continued use of mesh here. The morpher looks good. I'm gonna like bounce back and forth between PR and Sentai terms. I do that all the time. Like I wonder how many like purists from either side it drives crazy. But so yeah, very, very nice looking. Man, these guys are just drunks. I am sorry about that. I don't know why they refuse to stay up. I think Hurricane Blue is the culprit there. And then the back, you know, I really don't need to zoom in for that. It's pretty basic. It's basic. So he pretty much has the same mold as Hurricane Red. So he's got the same articulation he did, which was very well done. Like I said, this shoulder system usually bothers me, but the Hurricaneger mold actually does it pretty well. You got a nice ball joint here for his arm, just like she did. Swiveling, double knee joint. This is not a knee, double elbow joint. Sorry, done too many of these. Swiveling here at his fist on the ball joint. Nice ball joint here on his leg. Swiveling, double knee joint here. That's the knee. Should I say elbow joint? I don't know. Let's switch it up. And then the nice ball joint here on his foot, as well as the toe joint, and articulation at the chest and waist, and the head and neck articulation. So all of the standard Figuarts articulation, same as we just went over with Hurricane Blue, but the male version. So very nicely done. Out of the two, I do prefer him in terms of figure. I think that he just doesn't have as many proportion issues. He does look a smidge skinnier than on the show, but when you need to use the same mold, what are you going to do about it? The only other small issue I have is the sort of creases you can see here, but that's really just a nitpick at this point. But overall, I'm really pleased with these figures. I really liked Hurricane Red, and I really still do like these figures. My main issue is just from her helmet. His helmet is such a nitpick, but I still think they're really solid figures. Figuarts have great articulation. These molds have no loose joint problems, at least with mine. They have a large amount of accessories. I still enjoy them quite a bit. I can recommend them to a Ninja Storm or Hurricaneger fan. And there also, I believe, is an American release of this that you can get on Amazon. I believe that the only difference is pretty much just the packaging. But still, despite her helmet problems, I can still recommend them. They're still the best figure of this scale you can get for these characters. So yeah, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersrambles.com. Till next time, it's Dawson Ryder signing out.